Stories of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say. It's stamping up and it's our way.
Hey everyone, it's Pauline from Stamp with Pauline, and today I'm doing another card with a hang-on ornament. So getting in the spirit of Christmas, because it's not that far around the corner, I've got some balmy blue cardstock and I've got some petal pink cardstock. I've got my white embossing powder and I've also got my Versamark ink pad. And what I'm going to do is randomly stamp all over this piece. Just want a decent size, not too far apart from each other. You still want to keep it in somewhat close. So pop that there, and then I'm quickly going to just do the same with this one. All right, just rough, ready, random, and what I'm going to do is emboss this piece as well. So I'm going to grab some white embossing powder, sprinkle that over the top, flick off any excess, give it a second coat. Just making sure we've got good coverage on all of those. Give it a flick, tap off any of those excess daggy pieces. All right. Now, give me a sec and I'm going to just go and heat that up with the heat gun and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to now do is just run these through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to cut out two of these so that is now my pattern, just making sure that I've got a decent amount of pattern or a nice even coverage. So just manipulate it, so that's why I've moved it around, and I'll be back with those in a sec. Now, because this this die actually has three little anchor points of where, because it is an interactive pull out card, I'm just neatening up my edges, just where those little daggy bits are just sitting there. I'm just going to run my snips around that just to neaten it up so it's got a nice little bauble. If you would like it as an interactive card, we're going to be doing one of those later on as well. All right, so the next thing what we're going to do is create our base card. So let me just clean up my area and I'll be back. To do this part of the card, what I've got is a piece of basic white cardstock, and I've got my rubber mat that comes with my glass mat, and I've got some metallic enamel dots and a paintbrush, and all I'm going to be doing is just taking this and giving my card a good old splatter of some enamels. Give it a good coat. Doesn't matter where it goes because we will be cutting this to fit our layer, and there we go. All right, so then we're going to just let that dry, cut it up, and we'll put some things on it and we'll make a card out of it. All right, so that's that part of the technique. So leave that aside to dry for a little bit. Okay, for the next part of the card, this is now dry, and this is cut now at 10 centimeters by 14.5 centimeters. I've got my pecan pie, I've got my two ornaments. I'm going to take a sponge and I'm just going to go around this part of my card like so, and put that onto there. All right, that is that part of the card. Now I'm going to get a base card of basic white to go with this. Okay, so that's that part. What I'm going to do is glue this down. Let me just confirm that we're all good. Just making sure before I glue and cut and stick it all down, because it's always a good idea. So I'm going to put that down onto there like so. and I'm going to just take what remnants I have on my sponge, and I'm just going to colour in the outer edge of my ornaments. Do that on the both of them. And now what I'm going to do is actually cut out some leaves using the golden fernery dies, and I'm going to then be placing my two ornaments on here with some greenery as well, and then we've just got our sentiment to do. So let's get some greenery on here now. Okay, so I've cut out some crumb cake fern leaves from the golden greenery. I'm adding some pecan pie cards. Sorry about the noise. The builders have just decided to start moving in a bit more supplies, so there's trucks going on in the background here, so I do apologize for that. It's always the way when you start recording a video, something happens sometimes with that. So alright, so we're just going to colour in these just to add a little bit of depth and texture to those. And now what we're going to do is lay these down. So I'm going to want my two little Christmas baubles. I might tuck one underneath that and then have my fern. Yep, so I might do that. So I'm going to go straight ahead and glue down my first fern like so, and then I'm going to be taking my dimensionals and adding them. Actually my blue is, yeah, I'll do that, I'll raise it up, and my pink across to there. Just using the scraps. Use up all of your bits and pieces of your dimensionals, so you're bound to have some little bits just sitting around, so pop those onto there. All right, and then what I'm going to do is tuck in my back one here, so pop that there, and then I'm going to add my the little one, sorry. I'm going to give him, just so he overlaps there a little bit. That's it. In he goes. And then I'm going to add my large down here with my other little one there. So I don't need that bulk there. So I'll just tear that off and glue that down to there. And then with this one, he's just going to sit there like so. So add some adhesive to the back of that. There he goes. Pop that in. And then going to lay down my other Christmas bauble, and that I'm just going to sit there. And then what I've done is I've added some adhesive strips. So the adhesive paper that we have in the catalogue, I'm actually going to now glue these on. So what I've got on the back of here is my adhesive. So just going to dig into that carefully, not to keep stabbing myself in the finger. Okay, so what I've got here, I've attached the adhesive strips. So I've got some adhesive to the back of my little ornament, and I'm just digging in and taking off the backing piece of the adhesive sheet, and that leaves the residue behind. I found it was just a little easier than not having to worry too much about where the glue was or having a blob missing on that. So there is that bauble there. Then we just need to dig off the back side of this one goes. Peel that away, lay that little hook down onto there, and then do the same with this one. So just use your take a pick tool carefully not to stab yourself in the finger. Peel away the other side and drop that onto there. Now all I'm going to do is emboss my sentiment. So I'm going to take my stamp, alright, so I've got the stamp ready, I've got my Versamark. I am actually going to stamp my words onto just some leftover crumb cake that I have already cut out my little leaves from. I'm now going to just add a bit of some embossing paste to that, heat it up, and then using the dies that come in the kit, I will cut that off. So I'll just heat this up. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just take some foam mount strip, add that to my words. It's just a little long, and across there goes my sentiment, and that is the card. I'm really happy with that. I really like how it turned out. It's got that little bit of the copper in there. Of course I could have used the silver, but I felt that the copper worked quite well just as a contrast, and then bringing in that little pecan pie as well just to do that. So that is the card. I really like that one. I hope you do too, and give it a go and let me know how you go. All right, see you next time. Bye.
What we love, what we do makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration.